three handouts. Okay. The first handout is syllabus. This one. Okay. And then the second handout is the first day survey. And then the third handout is the first day quiz. Quiz. This one page each, right? But the trouble is these two are mixed up each other. Not my intention, but the copy center, they just somehow mixed it up. Sorry about it, but what can I say? So you have to disentangle, right? One piece of paper, and then the syllabus, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm afraid we may not have enough pieces of paper for all of you for the survey or the quiz, but don't worry about it. The quiz, I'm not going to grade it, okay? But it's just for your refreshment purpose right now, okay? Let's get it started, okay? This is intermediate corporate finance class, okay? It's similar to financial strategy class, and then my name is Andy Kim. What are we going to do? Well, this is a course introduction today. Okay? I'm going to spend a lot of time introducing about myself. I'm a talkative guy. Okay? And then I'm going to throw it over to you so that you are going to introduce yourself among each other. Okay? I hope it's going to be an ice-breaking time. Right? Do you know each other? Okay. You know each other before? How about you guys? Know each other before? Right. Everybody knows each other already? Then maybe we're not going to spend so much time, but take it as a chance to get to know as much as possible about each other. Also, you're going to go through a first day survey and first day quiz. Okay? And then after that, we're going to talk about the class schedule, assignments, and grading. Okay. If time permits, we may go into chapter 1 and 2, but let's see. So, who are you? Me, Andy Kim, right? Or Kim Young-han is my name. 김영한 교수님 안녕하세요. Right. So, I've been teaching in SKKU since 2015. So it's my third year of teaching. Especially this class, it's really third time. And then before that, I was at NTU of Singapore. Anybody from Singapore, please, experience in Singapore? Please raise your hand. When was it?
Sentosa, when I was in high school.
High school?
Yeah.
Where did you live?
Sentosa.
Sentosa, wow. All right. My place was in the West End, okay? NTU. Nanyang Business School. NTU is like MIT or Tsinghua Daxue of Singapore, engineering school. And those engineering schools, well, you need some business ideas combined together with these engineering ideas. So the business school is very big over there. Especially their accounting department, right? The undergraduate program commands the top cut line for that entrance exam, right? College entrance exam. Extremely smart persons, like you guys, right? And then very, great place. In case you are interested in exchange student program, especially in Singapore and NTU, please talk to me, okay? It's a great place, right? A lot of opportunities, especially if you're interested in banking industry or some consultings and all this stuff, right? Now, before that, I worked there about 5.5 years, and then before that, I got my PhD at the University of Minnesota. Anybody from Minnesota or Midwestern part of America? This is the coldest place in America. Extremely cold, so that it's even colder than Alaska sometimes. It's kidding. Extremely cold, so that there's nothing much you can do but study. That's what we do. Okay. And then Before that, I got my MBA at the same school, Minnesota. And then before that, I worked at Bank of America Seoul branch as a corporate credit analyst. Okay? What was the job over there? Well, you evaluate your corporate client, which is the Samsung Electronics, CJ or LG Electronics, and then value those guys and then assess how much likely is this guy to go bankrupt over the next year or 2 or 3. Of course, they're not going to go bankrupt, right? They're so stable a company. 제발, how dare they will go bankrupt? Boom. No, actually, in 1998 to 1999, we had a huge financial crisis, so that their own viability was in question. So it was not a trivial issue, right? So we had to upgrade or downgrade some of these corporate borrowers. Okay? For 2 years, I've been working there. I was working there, and then before that, I graduated from Yonsei University. I guess you guys are born after this, but anyway, so that's me. But during my undergraduate period, I belonged to marketing club. Okay, marketing club. I had no idea, almost. I ended up in finance. But you never know what you're gonna get in your life, right? And then in my marketing club, right? More than half of all those my friends ended up in global banking industry. Either Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, Hong Kong, or Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, you just name it, okay? And if not, we ended up becoming a finance professor, accounting professor, or whatever, quantitative professors. So my marketing professors was kind of pissed off. Why my students are not ending up in marketing? I'm just kidding. Some of them ended up in marketing, but what I'm trying to say is, life, you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, so be open-minded. You never know. And why did I say crisis over here, right? When I graduated from the undergraduate program, right, that time, when I was in the job market, the whole country in East Asia got hit by financial crisis, right? IMF crisis. The US dollar, okay, it was like 2,200 won per US dollar. Now it's like a half of it, right? But it was a terrible time. I remember, thinking about it, yeah, when I was in your age, together with my 선배님 or predecessors, we were always drinking, party and don't study, and then my predecessors got no difficulty getting a job in great company. But me, 저주받은 우리 학번. Cursed 92 학번. We started to get that, okay? Sending out my resumes to 100 different places, 99% getting ding letters, right? That's what you guys are going through these days, isn't it? Part of it, yes, right? It's hard to get a job. So we are the ones who started to do that, experience that. And then when I was trying to get a PhD at the end of the PhD program, this time it was global financial crisis. So that all the universities in the United States closed down their position. We are not hiring anybody this time. Okay? Half of those schools were not even looking at my resume, even though I sent out 150 different resumes everywhere in the whole world. Okay? So I try to say, what I'm trying to say is that I understand the frustration you guys are going through. I think I'm, more, into your position before. I was in your position before. So that enables me to counsel you a little more. Okay? If you need some more psychological counseling, what should I do with my career? Should I go to graduate school? No way. All right. Or should I go this way or that way? Or should I do 휴학 or not? If you're frustrated, you can come to me and talk to me about it. Okay? So that's that. One more part of my introduction is that there is a same named professor in the economics department, Kim Young-han 교수님. Kim Young-han Senior, Kim Young-han Junior, right? So he's about 11 years older than me, right? He's a great guy. I respect him. Great guy. So I label him as Kim Young-han 1, Kim Young-han 2. The issue is, make sure you email to the right person. Okay? Every now and then he tosses email to me. This is for you, man. Okay. Right? And I do the other way around too. Okay? So make sure you write it to the right person. And then I'm a quite talkative person, right? What is my research interest? Well, teaching is half of my academic life, and research is the other half of my life. Okay? And then in the research, I write papers and publish into journals. And in that area, in that respect, behavioral finance is what I'm very interested in. Okay? Psychology. How does that psychology affect the stock market? Huh? Well, you may say, isn't it psychology that drives the market so much? Eh? Isn't it too obvious? But the answer is not that clear, because over 100 years passed, right? What was dominant in the research area was like neoclassical economics-based finance. What do you mean by that? The scholars in finance were trying to avoid psychology as much as possible. Psychology, human things? No, come on, everything is rational, and then everything is, based on calculation, and smart money is there, right? Those human factors doesn't seem to drive the market. That was what it used to be, right? Chicago, University of Chicago, Minnesota, and Carnegie Mellon, those guys were doing it. Behavioral finance guys, we're different, okay? Bringing the psychology into it, right? So before we move on further, right, let me ask you one question, right? What is market efficiency, first of all, right? Somebody answer this question, please. But before that, please raise your hand if you did not take financial management before. 1. I have not taken financial management. 2, 3, 4. Only 4? 4? Okay. Right. If not, then the rest of the people should know about it, market efficiency. You did not raise your hand. So you took financial management before, right? Yes. So based on your understanding, what does it mean by efficient market? Efficient market hypothesis. Do you remember? No. Okay, anybody can help? Market efficiency. Tell me. Efficient market hypothesis.
Stock price is reflect the old information.
Great. What's your name?
My name is Jake. My name is Chong.
Chong. Okay. Price. Right, stock price. Reflect all the information. Right? So that's great. This is a precise definition of it, market efficiency. So the stock price. The only thing that drives the price should be information, right? Information about the cash flow and the risk of the firm, right? And then the next question is, what is price and what is value? What's the most typical distinction between price and value? Can anybody help? Price, value. Somebody. talked about the price, stock price, and then the value. Value. What is value about? Tell me, somebody.
It's a normal amount of money.
Normal amount of money. Amount of money. Normal. What do you mean normal? Can you?
If the market is efficient, the value,
Okay. If the market is efficient,
value would have a normal price.
you have a normal price. What you're trying to get at is that if the market is efficient, right?
Yes, the price is same as the value.
It's the net value. That's what you're trying to say. All right. So can you observe the value?
So
No. How about the price?
we can observe through the market like demand and supply.
Can observe the price, and it has to do with demand and the supply. Goes back to your Econ 101. Demand curve and supply curve meet each other. That's the equilibrium. This is a price that you can observe. You are the price taker in the market, right? It's determined and observable. Price is that thing, okay? In contrast, the value. You cannot observe it, right? That's something you estimate, okay? For example, the Lego company, right? Danish company, right? We talked about it in previous section, okay? The stock of Lego, right? Is traded, price you can observe it, but the fair value of it, can you observe it? Not really. But I estimate Lego, you estimate Lego, and you estimate Lego all differently, right? Methodology would be similar, information may be similar, but the way we process it may be different, or something will be different, okay? If the methodology is the same, but the information that we use may be different. You are the CEO of Lego, I'm not, I'm an individual investor, and you have much better information about Lego, right? Whereas me, I look at my kids and then see how much they like Lego. And go to the shop and then guess, right, how much it will be popular. Anyway, so value is not observable, okay? But if the market is efficient and if there's fair value, then the price should be equal to it, the fair value, and the price should be driven by the information. Okay, none other than information. If it's non-information like attention itself, right, then you should not move. Well, that leads to my television interviews with Bloomberg about 2 years ago. It tells you about my research interest. And let's see. Now, just a little bit. It's back to
BP engineers use underwater robots so they can keep watch over operations below the sea, even from thousands of feet above. Because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
I just got back from the American Economic Association conference in Boston, and I brought you a quiz. Here's what we are looking at. This is a Bloomberg poll of the not the fundamentals, of the mechanics of a stock. You're looking at volume and price. What would you say has happened to that company?
Price is going down.
All right, here's what's happening. DI Corp is based in South Korea, is in the semiconductor industry. Coincidentally, the CEO's son is Psy.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style, right? This is the guy who was dancing in the video. So here's what happened. This is a researcher, Andy Kim, took a look, was trying to figure out how we can separate attention on a stock from real information about a stock. And so the assumption is from noise, right? So people hear about Gangnam Style, they watch Gangnam Style, they read about it, they hear about this stock, and what happened is the price went up based on no material information whatsoever. This is pure attention, is what we're looking at there.
Everybody who celebrates this song were able to generate their own flashbacks with tens of or hundreds of thousands of people and then excited about this song and upload the flashback together with it. That's a great proxy for us about the attention level of the stock in that specific region. And then lo and behold, when the attention level in that region is higher, then the individual investor in that region are more likely to buy this size further stock. And then institutional investors were rather silent in that sense because they are smarter money. And so the distinction between the individual investors and the institutional investors, we can clearly distinguish.
Quincy Crosby, this is what really struck me about this research was that the institutional investors were actually sophisticated. They didn't move on this. Individual investors noticed the corporation, bought the stock.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons that you'll see, placements in movies. People go to the movies, they'll see a brand in the movie, leave and say, oh gee, this is an important company, I'll look at that stock. It's not fundamental analysis, for sure.
It's also why an athlete, a shoe company gets an athlete to endorse their product. You don't know how good the shoe is, you just know that some athlete has got his name on it.
What I would point out here, and I think this has been true for decades, with the exception of great work at UMass Amherst and at Vanderbilt, people in finance and investment stand in awe of economists' garbage analysis of what happens on the street. The economists, as a general rule, are absolutely tone deaf to what's called drift in stock markets.
So what he's complaining is that the traditional economists are not, they're completely ignoring the psychological factors or noise effect or the attention effect in the stock market. And then here comes, my...
And we've seen it decade after decade. This is 2 points, right?
Yeah.
This is 2 media points. I get the point.
No, but he's looking at the attention.
Well, what we're saying is, so this is all pegged to each one of those spikes you see is when Gangnam Style became popular in a new country. Those are the individual investors in those countries. Let's take a look at who owns the stock now. This is even better.
Before you get to that, Size grandmother sells shares, so she's smart money?
In one of those peaks, Size grandmother's a smart money. But look at that. The fourth largest shareholder is Eugene Fama's Dimensional Fund Advisors, and that's a new purchase. So that, I can't quite square that. Rachel Reichman, our producer, actually got in touch with DFA, and they declined comment. But that...
And we should say DFA is hugely prestigious within academic.
Yeah.
The linkage of academics to finance, Eugene Fama.
Well, wait, did you also dance Gangnam Style too?
Yes, of course.
Let's find it out again.
We went there, Andy Kim and I did it. There we go, those are my hips. And especially with sync. I'm not sure how we pulled that off, but yes, that was what I did.
This does not look like the first time you did Gangnam Style.
When I first saw that, I thought it was only.
I do weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, that's once in your lifetime kind of chance. Anyway, the guy was dancing better than me. And actually, he was much better. Anyway, so that's that. The other video link from public broadcasting services. That's not 평화방송. I'm going to show that throughout the semester. Okay, not today. It's 8 minutes long, much detailed explanation about it. So you're gonna like it. Now it's your turn. Okay, so turn around and then talk to each other. I know you guys know each other too much already, right? But try to talk more by filling up your first day survey. Also, try to do some of your first day quiz. Alright, let's get it started. Question 1, right? What does the beta of CAPM, Capital Asset Pricing Model, CAPM, this guy measure, right? Beta, what is it about? Please raise your hand. A, firm specific risk. B, diversifiable risk. C, market risk. D, bankruptcy risk. E, I don't know. Man. Okay, honest guy. Alright, or risk averse guy. And the answer is C, right? Market risk. Okay, good. I understand almost all of you got financial management class from Professor Pajamwan, right? Yeah, great. That was good. One more thing to tell you. In my multiple choice question, I have something called 조세호 policy. 조세호? 몰라요. Right? So, I don't know, right? If you don't know, you can pick E and get 1 point risk-free. For sure. Okay? Risk-free. But you cannot hedge your bet. E and C, I say E, right? So just 1 point. So how does it work? If your question is like 4 points worth, right? One question, 4 points worth. What's the chance of throwing out a coin or randomly select one of them and get it right? The chance is 25%, you said? Right, 1/4. So 4 points times 1/4, the expected value should be 1 point, right? So when you choose E, risk-free 1 point, no matter what. Yes. It measures your degree of risk aversion. May help you, may not help you. I don't know. Okay? The answer is C over here. Now, question number 2, right? I need 2 volunteers. Okay, 2 volunteers come up to the podium and solve it, demonstrate it. So let's read the problem. Today, January 1st, you invest $10 million to build factory and set up sales network. Starting from next year, you are expected to receive $1 million at the beginning of the year, forever, every year, right? Now the discount rate is 5%. Part A, what's the NPV? Part B, what's the IRR? I need volunteer for Part A. Please raise your hand. Nobody. Please. Anybody? Yeah, come on. Part B, I need a volunteer. Please raise your hand. Yes, please. Podium, yes. And please mic it off. Use your black pen. And then IRR. Work it out over here. Completely wipe it out. Thank you.